Welcome to Kruger Park, South Africa's largest and most popular national park. Normally at this time of the year, the park would be packed with tourists from around the world, but due to the pandemic, it feels a little bit as if the animals have taken over their natural territory again. Sounds great, right? But it isn't. A lot of businesses here had to shut down. Thousands lost their jobs, and some people here are fearing that this might lead to an increase in poaching incidents in the future. But there are also some signs of hope, and we're going to one of them now. Look at that, a hotel on a railway bridge. They started building that bridge during a gold rush in the late 19th century to transport gold all the way from the Limpopo region down to the coast. And now it became one of the most exclusive lodges in the country. The railway carriages are now hotel rooms, and from up here you can watch the hippos. So let's talk to Gavin, one of the managers of the lodge here. You opened the lodge in December 2020 in the midst of a global pandemic where many hospitality businesses here in South Africa actually were forced to shut down. How did it play out for you?
We had a very small window of opportunity to bring something that was quite unique to the South African tourism, as hopefully as one of its new little gems, tell a positive story in terms of creating local travel and providing jobs. I mean, when we originally went out for an advert for 40 positions, we received over 5,000 CVs. 5,000 CVs, yeah. And now we just wait for the guests.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sadly, we know that no one's traveling. As today, people are sitting at home deciding where to travel, and we're just saying we're ready when you come back. We're ready for this opening, and it allows us this amazing opportunity to really sort of expose this to the local South African market.
At the moment, the majority of guests in the park are South Africans. Many are taking advantage of special offers for locals during the pandemic. Also here at this lodge, where a night would normally cost around $400 per person.
I wouldn't typically stay in a place like this, but this really is unusual. Let's be honest, it's unique. Even having said that, I still wouldn't have come without the discount, if I'm totally honest. I mean, it was a good deal. It's half price basically. So let's be honest. Going to big cities and doing some of the things that we would have loved doing, a few years ago, is not such an appealing option anymore. A lot of the places are closed, museums are closed, crowding, public transport. Now, if we could spend more time in nature, it just seems like a better option. So I'm enjoying the whole. Reawakening or in us in nature or awareness. There's like a new awareness of the bush and of birds and of nature, which is great.
At the beginning of the pandemic, both domestic and international tourism was not allowed. And although when international tourists were allowed to come in again, only few were coming in these times of global uncertainty. Hence, a lot of businesses here are still relying very much on the domestic market. And for some businesses like Safari Flight Airlines, it is still a lifeline.
Thanks to the South African market and the SADC market, so the whole of Africa, they've really assisted Federal Airlines with our flights and helped us to stay abreast of what's happening right now in the tourism industry. We've lost approximately 50% of our staff, so we had to retrench over 60 people, and it was a very difficult and sad time for us. But we had to evolve, and we had to do that in order to survive. So we've also at the moment more than half our fleet down. We have aircraft available, but we are not flying at that capacity at the moment.
Do you think you would still be in business now if there was no domestic market?
I believe we would be in business, yes, but it would be a very different picture, and I think that, to be honest with you, along with everybody else, not a very comfortable pot that we would be sitting in.
When do you think the tourism industry will get back on its feet again?
Realistically, 2022 we'll start seeing a nice comeback, and you must remember that the tourism industry is normally always hit the hardest, but it's the fastest industry to actually bounce back.
So our short trip to Kruger National Park is over. We are flying back to Johannesburg and we're enjoying, well, what is the advantage for travelers at the moment? There's nobody else around. So I hope we'll see you around South Africa soon as well.